Let's start that over. Luckily, I caught that. This is, oh boy. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining myself and the great community this evening. That's what happens when you put the mute button on. I do that a lot. I do that a lot. All right. So, let's say hello to some of you folks. I haven't got to see you guys or talk to you guys other than in the comment section. So, I want to kind of, see who's in chat, say hello to some of you folks out there, and just welcome you to the live stream. Then we'll kind of go over what we're going to talk about this evening. It's going to be more on the entertaining, the fun side of things, at least from my perspective. I want to give you some updates and whatnot and what's going on in my life and on the channel, and answers a few questions and concerns that I've received over the last month or so in regards to the channel itself. All right, so let me say hello to Old Man Preparedness. Good to see you, brother. And we got Pantry Mama. Interesting, to say the least, right? I figured some folks would get the hint with the thumbnail, right? The whole you might be a redneck if, and there's a whole story behind that. But yeah, Pat Small, appreciate that. Jules is in the house. Yeah, I guess there is a lot of live streams on Tuesday night. Luckily, I scheduled mine early. I figured I'd try to get everybody right after dinner and whatnot. Michael, good to see you, Michael. Allie Watterson, Mander's Tattoo, JT in the house. JT, hopefully, I don't know if you got my text, JT. Hopefully you did. Hopefully I have the right number for you. I wanted to reach out to you and wish you my condolences, and I hope everyone in the family is fine, and that kind of stuff like that. But hopefully you got my text. Who else do we have in the house? Jan is in the house. Good to see you, Jan. Never look back, and I'm way behind, folks, just so you know. Who else do we have? Kind of scrolling through there. Michelle Mitten Prepper, good to see you. How is Michigan? I heard the weather's starting to get a little bit better up that way. At least it's not freezing cold. I think Rudy said his area was like in the 40s still here in June, out of all places. Let me see. Who else do we have in chat as I'm scrolling through? You guys are actually having a great conversation. I always like to see that when I come and check the live streams out. JRC Homestead, good to see you. Oops, it skipped on me. D14's in the house. Kevin Grip, 26 months. It's been a while. Yes, it has, Kevin Grip. It's been a long time since we did a live. Almost a month, brother. Yarn Prepper, Robert Bates, Coffee First and Speak, Lana Reed, Jeep Girl 1979, Kathy D. Don't you know? Good to see you. Let me see. Scrap Metal Racing. Good to see you. Brenda Valentine Bates. Hello. Megan Donahue. K. Paul. I know I got you, Jules. Robert. You see Sean Penrod, Pony Girl, Pat Small. I know I got you. 5x5. Thank you. Nostra Dumbass. Love it. Always love it. McBean Scottish Fitness. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. I love seeing these names that I've either interviewed or had contact with. It's always good to touch base with you guys. Ann Palmer. Remember, I just saw your comment on the tab thing, the community post. D14 in the house. Celtic Grandma. TMO. Log Cabin Artist. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Lizbeth, Water Tiger, K. Paul. Just want to make sure Jeff is in the house. How did that meet turn out, Jeff? You need to come up my way and share it, man. Kevin Grip is in the house. Rena LaRue, D's Craft, and if you notice, I do repeat myself a lot, folks. Southern Roots, Alaskan Branches. Hello, good to see you, Captain Pegleg. Oh, love the names, man. Chet, good to see you. Sam in the East. As well. I'm trying not to miss anybody. I feel like there's not a ton of people. There's about 77 people in the chat. So I wanted to kind of almost say hi to everybody that I possibly can. All right. I'm going to scroll back down and try to catch up and get going here. Let me see. I wanted to make sure I got Michelle, got Robert, K. Paul, McBean, Water Tiger. I think I got everyone. If I missed you, my apologies. My apologies tremendously. All right, folks. So tonight on the live stream, let me switch this over so I can see chat on this side too, and it looks good. All right, so how is everybody doing? It's been a while since we did a live stream. Some people who wrote me emails, I explained to them that we're going to try to do a lot more live streams during the summer. I'd like to try to do them every Tuesday, so we're going to try to kick up the live streams and whatnot. Previously, while my daughter was in school, it was just very complicated with her schedule, basically because my wife works a lot, so I had to, be the middleman. On Tuesdays to pick up the daughter, run her to her volleyball practice and all that stuff like that. So it's just very busy. And I just, you got family stuff to do. And here at the home, things have been a little tough on certain aspects. I've had to pick up some side jobs outside of my main job and whatnot, just to, just try to make ends meet. I don't know anybody out there who thinks the economy is doing that well. For me, it's a bit tough. So just doing lots of odds and ends and staying busy. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to catch up on all the things that I've been doing here on the channel and what I have planned moving forward. Matter of fact, sorry, I thought I saw something. That's 3 for me, Gray. I appreciate that, K-Paul. Hey, at least I get you, man. I get you. So I've got a couple emails in regards to gear reviews. And I just want to touch on the topic, folks. Some of you that have been with me for a long time know that the channel started off a little bit different. We dived into things like some political aspects of things on the Sunday Shift Report. And, we had some deep dive conversations on things that were, I say, politically incorrect from my perspective on the channel. Well, unfortunately, a lot of bad things happened to not personally me, but against the channel during that time. So I had to refrain from doing that. And so I started picking up on more emergency preparedness, conscientious things, like with the gear reviews, the garden, and just, prepper stuff outside of the political perspective of things. I figured the less political I get on the channel, the better for myself and you, the community, because the last thing I want to do is for the channel to disappear. So hopefully you guys understand that. So specifically, let's talk about the gear reviews real fast. Roger that, Nostradamus. And I agree. And a lot of you folks know how I feel about politics and whatnot, and where I stand on a lot of things. It just, I don't feel like I need to voice them here on the tube as much as I used to. But so back to the whole issue with the gear reviews. Some people have sent me emails and said, hey, Gray, is your channel a gear review channel at this point? And it seems that way, right? It seems that way in the aspect that there's a ton of gear reviews, but the EcoFlows and the Blue Yetis and specifically the power stations, the portable power stations. And, I would like to hear a little feedback from you guys because you guys, the people that join the live streams are usually your hardcore subscribers. They don't mind spending an hour sitting here listening to you ramble on about stuff. And are you, here's a tough one, folks. Here, matter of fact, let me show you something. I got home today after running Little Miss Gray around town, running some errands. And this was on my front porch. These are packages that I received to do gear reviews on. So it's not like I can stop doing them immediately or anything like that at the moment, unfortunately. But portable power stations, let's focus in on that for a second. Do you guys are you guys tired of portable power station reviews? I still have about 8 to 10 possibly in queue over the next 3 months or so that I have to do, that I've already received the products and whatnot, and I have to do the reviews because I'm an honest person and I'm not going to take a company's product and not do their reviews. Thank you, Celtic Grandma. Ready, set, go 60. Good to see you. Stealth mode in the house. In the house, good evening to see you. Frank Short, good to see you. Just checked my phone, got your text. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, JT. Good to know. And Michael says no. Do the same as do them as a comparison. Pantry Mama says. Michelle says some gear off your hands. I'd like to take some gear off your hands. No way. Love reviews. I appreciate that, Celtic Grandma. Lana says she likes them as well. Send me one and I will put it through its paces. Roger that, Robert Bates. Sarah, thank you. Gray, do what you need to do. Maybe someone new will benefit from it. I always learn something. I appreciate that, Pony Girl. Thank you so much. Yes, do the reviews. You got my address. LOL. It's your channel, Gray. Thank you. I appreciate that. And this is why I like to just bring it to you, my viewers, just to kind of touch base with you guys. Hey, Marilyn. It's a lot of people and there's some folks out here like McBean, Scottish Fitness has his channel. GRC has a channel. Michelle has a channel. There's a lot of folks that are watching right now that have a channel and understand, even at this level of where I'm at on YouTube, you don't really make a lot of compensation for putting all the effort, work, and time into it. A lot of us do this because we love doing it and we love sharing information and helping others. But having some of the financial aspects of YouTube is nice. But to be 100% complete transparent, and if anybody doesn't believe me, I will take a screenshot of my YouTube, what is it called, analytics page, and show you, from YouTube, I might make $150, folks. That's off the ad revenue and whatnot. So that's to be completely transparent. I don't do a lot of lives no more. So the super chats and the super thanks and all that stuff doesn't really come into par anymore like it used to. And stuff like that. So the reviews kind of help offset some of the work that you put into the channel. So that's always nice. I enjoy doing reviews, and from my perspective as well, thank you, Yarn. From my perspective as well, is that doing these reviews on these power stations, be it if it's a known brand, let's say like Blue Yeti or EcoFlow, or some of the flashlights or the walkie-talkies or whatever that I happen to be reviewing, I think it benefits some of the people out there like yourself, because it does, then you kind of get a broad review of like, well, this power station does this, but it doesn't do that. I can use this solar panel for that. I can use this flashlight for that, and just kind of gives a general idea. And some of you folks are saying, you know where my address is. I wish I could figure out a way to offset the shipping, because shipping, believe it or not, is anywhere from $50 to $100. Because I do have some portable power stations, the smaller units that I probably, that my daughter has one, the wife has one, I have one in the vehicle, I have them throughout the house. There's a few extras that I probably could give away. That being said, it's just that the cost of shipping these things to, let's say, California, New York, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Arizona, wherever it may be, can be very costly, because you can't ship them through regular mail because they're in a lithium-ion battery. I went to ship Mander's Tattoos portable power station, and that was a nightmare. They looked like I was a terrorist or something when I walked in with this big portable power station to ship that. So I learned it the hard way. I don't know how these companies, the only thing I can think of is using FedEx, and it's usually $50 to $60 depending on the weight of the smaller units to ship them out. If you tell them to ship it right to me, I can take some of those reviews off your hands, free you up. Totally not for selfish reasons. Right on, copy first. Yeah, Yarn, I could always do that. I mean, my worst case scenario, what I might do for the Christmas giveaways that I'm going to do in November, Off the Wall Prepping, I appreciate that. Long time no see. Good to see you. Off the Wall has a channel as well. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. What I might do is just eat the cost come November, and all the reviews that I have too many of, or something I just want to give away, I might just eat the cost of shipping and send those out for some of the gifts. Now, that's if you guys don't mind some slightly used products. And what I mean by that is, of course, there's no guarantee and stuff like that. I don't want to get into that situation, but just products that I've tested and shown on the channel, and that just want to kind of give to my viewers for like a Christmas gift or something like that, giving back to the community. So we might just do that with some of the products that I've been doing reviews on. So I think I've touched on that as stealth mode. Roger that. Chief Prepper, good to see you. Chief has a channel as well. Have not caught GreyMan in a while. Roger that, brother. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Matter of fact, I wanted to give you guys, some of you guys did watch my garden update video. I think I did not too long ago. I wanted to show you guys something. Boss Hog, I wanted to show you a quick picture. Let me see if I can pull this up a window. Whoops, there we go. Where is that at? There she is. Wanted to share that real fast. The pumpkins are looking really good, folks. I'm going to do a review, kind of like not I want to say a tutorial, but I'm going to talk about how to differ between male and female flowers on the pumpkins. A lot of you folks may already know that, but there's a lot of folks that don't. I know when I first started gardening, I had no clue in regards to male and female flowers on the pumpkin runners and whatnot, on the vines themselves, but things are looking pretty good with that. Thanks, Michelle. Hey, Hig, good to see you, man. Thank you, Stealth. I appreciate that. And the last thing I wanted to address really fast before we get into the fun stuff, and I had printed it out because it's funny, but we'll talk about it and just kind of get a little bit of a kick out of that. Let me see. Let me stop that and add this other thing to the screen real fast to share with you guys, because I've been, where is it at? Is this it here? Yeah, that's it there. Let me share that. A lot of you folks have been telling me, hey, Grey, you can build your channel a little bit more. You can get more of an audience, reach more people by doing YouTube shorts. I've been very reluctant to do it because I just don't know how. And it's not that I'm not capable of learning how, which I have now at this point, is I've never videoed in that format before. It's kind of like, the TikTok and Instagram reels and stuff like that. But I did a short not too long ago, and I wanted to show it to you guys here. And just in case you guys didn't see it, because a lot of my normal viewers, my regular viewers, did not see the short. And I wanted to show you that if you ever go to the channel and go to shorts, because I'm assuming Jeff told me that he didn't get the notification just to the other day. It looks like it got a lot of views, I guess, for shorts. I don't know. It's my first time. This was a long time ago. Just kind of disregard that short. I should delete it, but it's kind of funny. But that's when that first thing came out. But this was just like a cherry tomato short here that I did. Whoops, not that one. Whoops. See, I don't even know how to work the shorts system. But it was just kind of like a little quick little thing of me making some tomato sauce out of cherry tomatoes. Not an instructional video, just a little funny, kind of fun thing just to test the waters with it. But yeah, so that I did that, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you folks as well. Wolfang, good to see you. Hello from Ohio. Never look back. Hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate that. Thank you. T-Bolt, what's up, man? Good to see you. What time is it, T-Bolt? You must be at work still. Yoshi's mom, no shorts for me. And Yoshi, that's how I feel about it as well, because you only get about 60 seconds to do the shorts, and I guess people's attention spans aren't long enough to sit through a 15, 20-minute video anymore. You see, what's up, Billy? Good to see you. Pretending to work, right? Let me see. I see Wolfang also just catching up in chat real fast. All right, so where are we at on time? We're only about 20 minutes in. I'm only rambled for so long. But in regards to, like I said, all that kind of information, I figure I'll do it every once in a while. It won't be something consistent, but if you're into that kind of stuff, check it out. It helps. And I wanted to ask you guys a big favor while I have your attention for a second. So to help with live streams, sometimes the live streams are pertinent and have good information in them. Some people like to watch the live streams and kind of look at chat because they missed the live stream due to family issues, or they're out and about. They didn't get a notification. But the live streams kind of taper off really quick. And if I could ask you folks, when you get a chance after the live stream ends, it doesn't have to be immediately, just whenever you get around to it, if you could just drop a comment, your thoughts on the live stream, or just hello to everyone, or whatever you want to write. You know what I mean? I don't want to tell you what to write, but just whatever. Or if you hated the live stream, you're like, great, that was a waste of an hour of my life. I understand that. You know what I mean? Sometimes I go down these tangents and forget where I'm at, and we get far off topic. But like this said, this live stream is not really a live stream about anything specific other than what the thumbnail said, basically, because I thought it was funny. You might be a prepper if, and I found, and I want to give credit to where I found this information at. You always want to give credit to the people that kind of give you the idea for what you're doing. If you can find the credit to, I just happened to Google it because I thought it was an entertaining term. And I found it on survivalsullivan.com. As a matter of fact, I think I even linked it down in the description. It's a survival site because I like to go through websites and check out survival sites and whatnot. Minuteman, exactly. Good to see you, Minuteman. How you doing tonight? And I happened to come across this, and I was like, that would make an entertaining live stream, I think. And so I printed out some of the things that were on his website and wanted to share with you guys and get your thoughts. What's up, Dragon? Good to see you. Full of Hope. Hello. Good to see you as well. God, there's a lot of great people in here. William, good to see you as well. Man, things are popping, huh? And like I said, I figure a lot of folks don't get the notifications because I haven't done live streams. It's like once, maybe twice a month. Maybe when I start doing more of them, we'll get that. Thanks, JT. I appreciate that. We got 99 people in chat and 93 thumbs up. We're doing pretty good. There's 7 people that are holding out to make sure the thumbs up is worthwhile, right? So anyways, I want to go over some of this. Good to see you, Sue. Thanks, Sue. No problem. So let's start off with some of these funny little sayings here. And I want to hear your thoughts as we're going through them. And basically, they all start with, you might be a prepper if, but I don't want to say that every single time. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start off with, you might be a prepper if you secretly want SHTF to prove everyone you're right. Right? How many of you folks out there have thought that? You know, I just want it to, I want the balloon to go up. I know it's going to be bad, but I want to prove everyone that I was right and they were wrong. Good to see you, Eric. Jules, Pantry Mama says no. All right. Well, you might be a prepper if you get ammo for Christmas. It is a scary thought. Potato Head, good to see you. Nostradamus, guilty. Exactly, Minute Man. All right, I guess I am going to use the moniker, you might be a prepper if, because it'll just make more sense. Proof I'm not crazy. Exactly, Pony Girl. We all get that a lot. You know what I mean? Trying to get our certain family members on board. They're like, you're just one of those crazy people that like to hoard food. And I'm like, folks, and people don't learn until it's too late. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, maybe just something just popped on my head because, you know, squirrel. Here the next couple of weeks, they're kind of be kind of reviews and kind of videos as well. I mean, a kind of a review video, but they're going to be focusing on specific topics. We're going to do 3 videos on medical preparedness with 3 different medical topics. I think we're working with My Medic is one of them. Another medication company, I can't think of their name for some reason, and some other stuff. And then we're also going to do 3 videos on food storage and preparation by using different types of products that have been sent to me from companies, you know, dehydrators, food sealers, and things of that nature. Just happened to pop into my head. All right, back to the list. Bullets and beef jerky, right on, Boss Hog. You know, how many of you guys like peanuts? Boss Hog got me down another rabbit hole. Now, I went to Bass Pro the other day to pick up some stuff because I always like to check ammo prices, right? And they have these nuts there, cashews, pecans, I think, what else? Cashews, pecans, what was the other one? Almonds or whatnot. And they're like the cinnamon sugar. I don't know what it is, man, but it's the devil's candy, man, because I keep on going there and buying more and more and more. They're just so good. And now I'm prepping them because they just taste so dang good, and I want to keep them stockpiled just because it just makes I mean, nuts in general are healthy, you know what I mean, if you don't go too crazy with it like I am. But anyways, in fact, I'm nuts for peanuts. Roger that, Pony Girl. That's awesome, Rena. You might be a prepper if your closets are full of food and not clothes. Good point, Minute Man. And that's what I want you guys to do. Anything, let's do that down in the comment section after the live stream ends. I want you might be a prepper if, and then put what you would put for that. That would be kind of cool to read some of those, and then we could talk about them next live stream if you like. Anyways, moving on. It says, you might be a prepper if you immediately notice all the exits in every mall and every supermarket you walk into. So when you walk into a restaurant, a mall, Walmart, Publix, wherever you might shop at, you're always looking around for where's the nearest exits at? You know what I mean? You're always kind of that situational awareness, like looking around, like, okay, that's how I get out of here. This place goes sideways. Hey, Michelle says, dang right. Sherry says, yes. K. Paul says, yep, you might be a prepper if you have a prepper shed. Agreed, Frontier. Agreed, Billy. All right. This one's kind of funny. I thought this was hilarious as well. Head on a swivel. Exactly, Pony Girl. It says you might be a prepper if the keys on your keyboard, SHTF, are worn off your laptop's keyboard, which I thought was hilarious. When I used to do the Sunday shift report, I used to type that in so much. This one's kind of to you folks out there that love dandelions like myself, but it says you might be a prepper if you feel hungry whenever you walk in the park and see dandelions and clovers. I'm a big fan of dandelions because it's such a multi-useful plant, medicinally and as an edible plant as well. Such a great little plant. Minuteman, this might touch on what you were talking about here. It says you might be a prepper if you have food that's older than your kids. Guilty. Pony girl, how are you doing, young lady? Just in case. Maybe a prepper if you have less grass and more weeds and gardens. Exactly, Justin. What's up, Moldy Soldier? Good to see you. LC in Florida, good to see you as well. Low Country Gardener, hello. All right, what else do we got on here? Let me see. This one kind of pertains to me. It says you might be a prepper if you deny your 5-year-old daughter a pink dress because it's not gray. I wish I had like one of those sound effects machines to make like the laughter like they do on talk shows and whatnot, to make it seem like everybody's laughing. I don't know if anybody's laughing at home or just agreeing. Lone Wolf says you might be a prepper if you refer to your car as a bug out vehicle. I do that all the time, and people look at me like I'm nuts. Like, what's a bug out vehicle? So then I have to go into a deep explanation. This one's kind of funny. I thought it was funny when I read it, but hey, Sherry, at least the emojis let me know something was funny. This one says you might be a prepper if you have more tampons than all your neighbors combined, but everyone in your household is a senior citizen. Oh, man. Love it. Love it. What did I miss? What did Yarn Prepper write? I missed something. Minuteman says you might be a prepper if you fill your pockets with condiment packets when you leave the restaurant. Guilty as charged, brother. Lana Reed says you might be a prepper if you have 3-bedroom house, but only 2 are used as bedrooms. 100%. I agree with you, Lana. That's my whole spare room is an entire prepper pantry. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, JT. Stealth mode, good to see you. All right. You might be a prepper if you buy tobacco, even though you don't smoke. Guilty as charged. It's just funny when I was reading through this, list on the website, some of it just kind of hit home with me. I'm like, man, I fall in a lot of these categories. And I'm assuming a lot of you folks do as well. Sherry, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I always wonder when I come up with these ideas for a live stream, if people are going to like it or not, you know? My spare room is my yarn room. Yarn, Yarn Prepper, when Christmas comes around, excuse me, I wouldn't mind something, made out of yarn, something that I can cherish. I would love that yarn. If you ever get a chance to do that, I know you're probably really busy. Or I could even buy something. If you have a spot where I can look at, I could buy something from you. I don't mind supporting you. All right, here's another one for, and this one may work for some of you. It may not work for others. It says you might be a prepper if you have gallons and gallons of whiskey, but you never drink it, waiting to barter with it. That's awesome, Sherry. Because how many of you folks out there store alcohol as a barter item? You know what I mean? You buy alcohol. Well, then if you use like grain alcohol, you can use that outside of bartering. You can use it for medicinal purpose or having a drink. You know what I mean? If that's your thing, you know? And man, this one here, the next one probably hits all of us. K Paul, I was waiting for that, K Paul. I know some folks would say, yeah, it's not going to be around too long. I prepped it, but I drank it as well. And Palmer says you might be a prepper if you save every empty container because you might can store something in it. That's my wife, and that is my wife to a T. Thank you, Yarn. I appreciate that. I use alcohol to make vanilla extract. See, and Sue, you hit it on the button. Some of these things that we're talking about outside of just barter items, you know what I mean? We can use them for all different types of things. And like some people use them for other things like making vanilla, homemade vanilla, which I've watched the process and it's very fascinating. You know what I mean? These are skills that people have that are quite interesting on how they have that knowledge base, and they don't have to read a book. They don't have to watch a YouTube video. They just do it. Frank Shore says you might be a prepper if you check all the expiration dates on your food at the store. Right on, Frank. This one says you might be a prepper if you need an extra job to pay for your preps. Again, guilty as charged. Little Lone Prepper says, you might be a prepper if you can't bring yourself to toss bread ties, old nails, or leftover bits of wood. I agree 100%, Little Lone Prepper. Amazing Grandma says, you might be a prepper if you eat all the chocolate before it goes into the preps. Yes, chocolate. Chocolate is one of those must-haves. My easiest way to do that is to store cocoa powder, or they call it cocoa powder, depending on where you buy it from. I try to buy the purest form of cocoa powder because it stores well, especially if you vacuum seal it and put it in a coarse, cool, dry, dark place. Lone Wolf says, if you think knowing how to make moonshine is a life lesson. Agreed, Lone Wolf. Agreed. And, funny, if you have a moonshine still, I've learned, and I'd like to try to replicate this myself, but if you have a moonshine still, which is like a distillery kind of situation there, you can use a moonshine still to remove to purify salt water, basically, to clean that out, basically take the salt out of the water by running it through that distillation process. Now, don't quote me on it. I don't know the whole science behind it, but where I was reading some articles and printed out some information for myself, because I'm in Florida, I'm surrounded by salt water. So what if I was put in that situation? It'd be nice if it could be something extremely portable. If someone, I'm assuming they're out there, I had to go do more research on that, but it would be quite intriguing to have something that you can pack or put into your bug out vehicle or whatever, a way to purify salt water or to remove desalination. I guess that's the proper term, is desalination. I know someone will give me heck down in the comments for that. All right, so let's move on to the, you might be a prepper if you offer to cut the dead branches from your neighbor's tree so you can stockpile the wood. Now, that's another benefit. You can use it to stockpile wood to heat yourself. You can use it for dead branches to put in your raised garden bed so that you can save money on soil. So, love it. This one, I know everyone here on this channel probably has done at least once. Reverse osmosis. Thank you, Pantry Mama. Just making sure to miss you. Hey, Andrew, good to see you, my friend. This one is funny. I know I've done it. Everyone I know that's been in the emergency preparedness for more than a few years has probably done this. It says, you might be a prepper if you go to the laundromat and ask for their dryer lint. It's a nice tinder starter. Justin K says, you may be a prepper if you know 100 uses for pallets. Good one. Pallets come in so much handy. You can make compost bins. You can do all kinds of decking with it. You can build fences. You can use it to build a chicken coop. So many things that you can do with pallets. And people are always throwing the stuff on the side of the road and destroying them. Pallets come in useful for so many different things. Someone should make a video. Maybe if I ever get a chance to one of these days, 10 uses for pallets that you find on the side of the road. Definitely a good video. And Andrew, it is good news to hear that, Andrew. Thanks for keeping me updated on that, Andrew. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad that you're recouping and you're recovering. Definitely good to hear. All right. Man, God, this one hits home as well. It says, you might be a prepper if you buy duct tape every time you go to the hardware store, even though that you have plenty. As I look over here and see the rolls and rolls and rolls of duct tape that I have, black duct tape, white duct tape, gray duct tape, white duct tape, every duct tape that's known to man, Gorilla duct tape, the regular duct tape, sitting over there on the shelf. And every time someone in the house says, hey, Dad, specifically my daughter, says, hey, Dad, do we have any tape? I'm like, and I look at her like she's crazy because I'm like, just walk out the door, look on the shelf, and any tape that you can possibly dream of is on that shelf. Yes, K. Paul. And be it medical tape, duct tape, electrical tape, Teflon tape, all kinds of tape. Tape in general is just a good thing. Don't forget aluminum tape. It's funny that you say that, Pantry Mama. I'm going to step away for 1 second. I just like to kind of give you that idea of I practice what we preach. But yes, aluminum tape. Good point, Pantry Mama. Love the stuff. Like I said, any tiny tape I could possibly think of is probably on that wall. Kaylin says, But do you have silly mustache duct tape? I do not. I do not have that one, Caitlin. Food Forest Permaculture says, hi, Earthlings. Good to see you. Great days. You might be a prepper if your daughter's prom dress was tarp and bungees. Good. That's a good one, full of hope. Yarn Prepper says, I just went through 4 rolls of Coben tape with my broken toe. And that's another good one, Yarn, for sure. All right. You see, what do we have here? This one's kind of funny. Well, they're all funny. I'm really enjoying these. I only got maybe a dozen or so left. So don't worry, folks. We're only at 36 minutes in, so we can talk about some of this after we're done. This one says, you might be a prepper if you bring home more stuff from the dump than you had when you got there. How many of us have done that? You go to the dump, you want to go throw a bunch of stuff that you feel that you don't need away. And then you look around the dump and you're like, wow, why is someone throwing that away? Oh, that makes a good shelf. Oh, that would make a good planter. Oh, I could use that for the chicken coop, or I could use that on the farm or the homestead. So much stuff at the dump. As they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? Good to see you, Claude. A beautiful day, 121. Hi, folks. South Carolina in the house. I'm a certified dumpster diver. That's awesome, Pony Girl. I think most of us are. Jules says, I need to go to the dump. Stealth Mode says, yep. Michael has his hand raised. I love digging into the dump. You know, it's funny. In the neighborhood that I live in, you know, there's a lot of more of the middle-class folks, I would say, in the neighborhood that I'm living in. And even some upper-class people, whatever you want to call them, you know, I'm not trying to judge them, but I see what people throw away, right? And some of the stuff that I see amazes me. And my wife always, you know, she's like, you going to get that? I'm like, yeah, sure am. She's like, aren't people going to look at you weird? I'm like, who cares? They don't want it. I do. Because for some reason, the more money people have, the more they're willing to throw stuff away. And if I can save a couple of bucks on somebody else's trash that I can repurpose and reuse, why not, right? You might be a prepper if you consider lead as valuable as silver. Agreed, Lone Wolf. Lead, brass, even copper for certain things. Copper jacketed. Let me see. Daryl Calhoun. See, I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. You got Great Style, Pony Girl. All right, so we're on to the second page. It's not too long. We only got a little bit left, folks. We only got a little bit left. So I'm glad you guys have been sticking with me. We got 115 people listening to me read. You might be a prepper if. All right, so this one I've done myself. There's so much more on survivalsullivan.com's website of these things. I just picked ones that I thought related to me and might be relate to some of you folks. K. Paul says, I found 3 big lighters at the dump today, but a whole tote of stuff. That's awesome, K. Paul. Salmon E says, we carried a nice bench down the street from my garden area. Stain and tighten screws, good as new. And that's what I'm saying. It just takes a little elbow grease and you got you something new, you know? Why throw it away? All right. So this one says, you might be a prepper if you use Google Earth to find all the ponds, swimming pools in your town or city, printed the results, marked them all with X's, and have already figured out the shortest route to each of them. Because what is the ultimate thing that we need to survive? Water. I am guilty as charged. I have tons of maps from when I go hiking. I have aerial maps of where I live and whatnot. JT, I appreciate that, JT. And you know you didn't have to do that, JT. I really appreciate that so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for gardening supplies. Thank you. Yeah, it's been we have to build that third bed. I got half the stuff for that. I want to build a third bed because I also have a company that I'm working with in that third bed, and I need to get that done. But we have some fun summer crops going in the garden, but that's it. We'll talk. I'm going to get sidetracked and go down the rabbit hole again. What's up, Okie Khan? Good to see you. But again, thank you, JT, for the support. I really appreciate that. All right. And this is one we just discussed. It says you might be a prepper if your pantry is bigger than your bedroom. How many of you guys have that same issue, right? Coffee Person Speaks. This says, you might be a prepper if you wear paracord as a bracelet. You know, in my EDC bag, I have so much paracord, and then in my bug out or my get home bag in my vehicle, I have a ton of it. I have fire cord in there, which is a paracord base, but has a fire tinder making material in there as well, which I like. I should do a review of that one day, right? Speaking of reviews, I want to start doing more outdoor gear reviews. That would be fun. I want to get, I'm reaching out to companies for like, you know, portable stoves, wood stoves, and things like that. Pony Girl says, my pantry is my bedroom. Hey, you got to put food wherever you can. If you're in a small apartment, you can find ways. You can find ways to store things in certain places. But I would like to do some more of the outdoorsy type of reviews other than sitting here in what should I call this? I'm going to call this the gray cave. I don't know. I don't want to call it a bunker. Rudy has his bunker. I'll call this the gray cave that we're in. All right, Michelle, you have a great evening. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. I really appreciate that. Yarn Prepper, you're exactly right. Thank you. Yeah, if you ever want to support the channel, just let some of the commercials run. And folks, I'm really curious about something, and I'm not asking any of you guys to do this, but I always wondered, like, have any of you guys ever? YouTube's always giving me this information about stuff and saying, hey, you know, you're low on this, or, you know, you got this many likes, but you didn't do this, and, you know, all the analytics and stuff like that. But if you ever get bored, run through some of the playlist on my channel. I want to see if the watch time hours actually fluctuates, because it always looks pretty much the same. It has its peaks every once in a while, but I'm always curious if, like, in the next 48 hours, if any of you guys do this, I'm going to watch the watch hours and see if YouTube actually records the watch hours, because they have a bad habit of removing likes, removing views, removing watch hours. And it's very frustrating for us content creators in this kind of side of things. And especially if you're the smaller channels out there, you know, if let's say you have 500 subscribers or under 1,000 even, it's very discouraging, you know, and I hate the fact that they do that. And I get there's bots and stuff out there. I understand that, but, you know, a lot of people that write me and say, hey, Gray, I got unsubscribed from your channel. I never get any notifications from your channel. I left a comment. I don't see it, Gray. And then I don't see it either. It wasn't like blocked, or it just never there. I get upset with that. You know what I mean? And I've complained to YouTube so many times, but they're probably tired of hearing me ramble on to them. All right. So let's get back to you might be a prepper if winning streak. What did I miss? You might be a prepper if you have a year of most things. Good point, K. Paul. At least a year minimum. I think everybody should have at least a year minimum. Food, medical supplies, water, gas, all those things that you possibly could think of that are going to come in handy. At least a year. That's what everybody should shoot for. At least a minimum of a year. I know some people say, you know, if you go to the FDA or what is it, the emergency preparedness websites that the government has, they say, you know, 7 days, a couple of weeks, or something like that. That wouldn't work for me. That would not work for me. All right, so here we go. It says, you might be a prepper if your balcony is so full of plants and vertical containers you barely have room to get inside. So for you apartment dwellers out there, you apartment preppers out there who had the vertical gardens, how many of you guys on your patio or even on your porch have vertical gardens, and you kind of like, you know, kind of get in and out of there because you have so many plants growing, because you're trying to grow, you know, become self-sufficient for food and save money. All right, what else do we got on here? It says you might be a prepper if you have more pet food than other people have for themselves. So how many folks out there have more pet food than, let's say, your neighbor has food in their own home? I say the majority of us do, right? If you have a pet, we prep for our animals. Yarn Prepper says you might be a prepper if you can build a toilet paper igloo. Good point. You know, Yarn, that reminds me. I thought that I had a toilet paper one on here. I'm looking. I don't see it. I must have missed that one. I thought I had a toilet paper one on here. But yes, if you have enough toilet paper to build a toilet paper igloo, that's great, Yarn. I like that one. Water Tiger says, that's me. K. Paul says, yes. My friend is giving me the recipe for making cat food. That's awesome, just in case. And if you can find natural ways to make food, for your animals, because technically animals can eat most of the things that we consume. A lot of the pet food out there is filled with a lot of nasty stuff. And if you want the good stuff, you got to pay $70 a bag or for a decent bag. You know what I mean? It's hard to find good dog food or cat food for your animals, or even feed for your animals, for your people out there that are farmers and whatnot that have livestock that doesn't have all the crap in it, Winning streak. 388 rolls and counting. That's awesome, K-Paul. Lone Wolf says, you might be a prepper if you save newspapers to use as toilet paper. I have been stocking up on dog and cat food. That's smart, Okikon, because we have to prep for them. I tell you, pets are like family members to a lot of us folks. Sherry says, I made my cat's food. One ate it and one wouldn't. Roger that. Cats can be picky, just like most animals. I noticed, Wyatt, a lot of you folks that I introduced to Wyatt in the gardening videos, our new yellow lab, who's going to be my new companion out on the trail, he currently will eat anything. Evidently, dust balls, flies, or anything that moves, he's going after. So he's probably going to make a great hunting dog. Hopefully he doesn't eat the prey when we go hunting. Hopefully he just brings it back and retrieves it. Justin Morton says, you might be a prepper if your pantry is better stocked than your local Dollar General. Exactly, Justin. 100%. Pony Girl says, I got carried away when TP was $9 and have 2 years worth. Now it's $25. Hey, that's smart. That's an investment, Pony Girl. That's an investment. All right, what else do I got on this list here for you folks? Let me see. And this one goes back to the whole copper situation. It says, you might be a prepper if you check every penny you find or get to see if it's made before 1982. And the reason that 1982 is the year to look for and prior is because that's the copper levels and pennies were actually pretty decent. Now they're just mostly zinc and a lot of different alloys. They made the penny as cheap as possible. It's not as fun as finding a silver dime or a silver quarter in pocket change, because then you really come up on that. That's awesome, Michael. K. Paul says, you might be a prepper if you have two of everything. Hey, one is none and two, or one is none and two is one. All right, this one says, you might be a prepper if you call your neighbors for poker night to secretly figure out who's a prepper and who isn't. Kind of feeling out your neighbors, you know what I mean? Bring them on over, have a little poker night, as a false pretense, kind of throw some things out there about, emergency preparedness, see how they react, see how they sit politically and whatnot. You can kind of feel your neighbors out that way. So then you know who you might want to mag up with or, team up with down the road in case SHTF hits the fan, right? All right, 3 more left, folks. 3 more. Sherry says, my 17-year-old currently has all my number 10 cans under his queen-size bed. That's awesome, Sherry. I use my daughter's closet for preps as well. Let me see, you might be a prepper if your body armor is in a drawer higher than the one that holds your socks. So it means that your body armor is readily accessible faster than you can get to your socks. Let me see what else we got. We got one last one, folks. I wish I had, like I said, a little drum roll, please. It says, you might be a prepper if every plant in your home or out in front of your home is edible. Pa-ching. I should do like, what was his name? The guy, oh God, he did the Tonight Show. He would take the things. I'm like, all right, we're done. Except I don't have that glass breaking sound. Hanging on special hangers, Jules. That's great. Snark and Substance, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed some of that. Some of them are very pertinent to all of us out there. It was just to have a little bit of fun, folks. The world is just so filled with doom and gloom, or political craziness, or, activists doing this and green energy this and all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world. Sometimes we need to take a break and just have a good time instead of talking about the bad stuff. You know what I mean? We all know that the bad stuff's out there. if we're all preppers, you know what I mean? We're all in this, we're here for a reason. We're all subscribed to the channels like myself and others for a reason. So I'm pretty sure a lot of us get a lot of the bad stuff every day. We know that one day the sun may just decide to burp and shoot us a, electromagnetic pulse or solar flare, or, coronal mass ejection, and change the world that we live in. One day, another country may get froggy and do something they shouldn't do and create a situation. A lot of us folks have been through lots of different natural disasters and suffered and learned to become prepared after that situation. So, why always do we need to talk about the doom and gloom? We need to be informed, we need to be educated, and we always need to keep our eye. It's always about, being situationally aware and prepared for what's going on around us. But a lot of us are continuously every day add to your preps if you can. You know what I mean? Work on something. Work on your garden. Shore up some things. Go to the the used bookstore or maybe the Goodwill or wherever that you might get some stuff at for the cheap. Find some books on small engine repair, carpentry, plumbing, gardening, canning, whatever that you can find that pertains to self-sufficiency. Take some of those tips with you and get books, because when the SHTF or the crap hits the fan, there won't be any internet. There won't be any live streams, unfortunately. We'll all be on ham radios talking to each other. We'll have ham radio shows, hopefully, if it doesn't get too bad. But, just always, if you could just once a day do something in regards to your preparedness, if you're growing foods, if you're sprouting some seeds, if you're doing this or that, and you're just making progress on a daily basis, and trying to include your family as best as you can. Some family members may not be as receptive as they should, but eventually it'll take something bad that may happen in their life or someone close to them or dear to them, and then they'll realize why we as preppers are right. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, food forest, you're absolutely right. Save all your seeds. I have a project that I'm working on. It's going to take, I got a couple more months on this project that I've been working on for 6 months, and hopefully it'll play out right. And I want to share with you something that I basically, here, I'll give you guys the premise. Since you guys have sat with me for almost an hour, I'm going to spend 50 cents on a vegetable. I'm not going to say what vegetable it is. 50 cents on a vegetable. I'm going to take that vegetable and try to turn that 50 cents into hundreds of dollars for a small investment, because it's plausible and it's actual doable. And I know I'm being a little bit cryptic what I'm saying, but you'll see when I finally get the video all put together, because it's taken months and months, because I've been documenting each step of the way. Excuse me. Documenting each step of the way to kind of show you how you can take something small, tiny little investment. I mean, what's the pocket change that you have in your pocket right now, or in a change jar somewhere in your home, that you can buy a vegetable and take that vegetable and turn it into hundreds of dollars worth of food? Why not give it a try? Have some fun with it. Go out there and take a risk. Take that 50-cent risk and go out there and make something happen in your garden. I think that would be awesome. I'd love to get pictures from you guys. Like, hey, Grey, remember the live stream that you did? And you said I should take, 50 cents and go buy a vegetable, whatever vegetable that you prefer, hopefully with lots of seeds in it, if you get my drift. And here's a picture of what I got going on. I love receiving emails like that. Honestly, I love seeing, I get a couple of you folks out there that send me garden updates in the email. I get, sometimes people write me letters, send me pictures. I get all kinds of fun stuff. Matter of fact, I haven't been to the P.O Box in quite some time. I should probably check that to make sure there's nothing in there. AMC Kingdom, hello. Ready, Set, Go says salsa. And, we do that with, so a lot of you folks who, like myself, grow cherry tomatoes. And cherry tomatoes, like the cherry 100s and the cherry 1000s, and there's several other cherry tomatoes. I've been growing the midnight snack cherry tomatoes. So far, I've made tomato sauce. I've made tomato salsa. I've dehydrated some of them. I've used some of them as snack tomatoes, just because they grow very heavily. throughout the year, and it's just a bountiful harvest most of the time. And cherry tomatoes are relatively easy to grow, even indoors or on the patio or whatnot, and they're heavy producers. And they're sometimes a little easier to work with than the large variety of tomatoes, at least from my perspective. That's my perspective and my perspective only. But learning to use those cherry tomatoes before they go bad is super huge. Michael, mine does that too. Mine goes through its phases where you have like a yellow, green, red. That's how my peppers look. Some of my pepper plants, they're all in different, phases of growth. So you'll see all different types of pepper plants and whatnot. It's like a Christmas tree, right? But an edible one. Stealth Mode says, I've tried to grow from store-bought vegetables. The plant will grow, but do not produce fruit, i.e. tomatoes. Stealth Mode, if you can find some of your more organic variety stores, I wouldn't go to Walmart very much, places like that, the Wally World. A lot of their stuff is tainted, and because they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to be able to take food from the store and grow it, right? But I've had a lot of success at some of the more, don't you guys have any of the, on the side of the road, like the little produce stands, or little farm to table places near you, or things like that, where farmers sell their produce and whatnot, where they're trying to make a couple extra dollars to help them on the farm. Try to give those guys your money versus giving the big box stores your money. You know what I mean? There's all the little folks on the side. Every time I see someone on the side of the road selling watermelons, cantaloupes, fresh vegetables, grapes, whatever it may be, I try to grab some of that stuff, folks, because I'm going to buy it anyway. So I'd rather give it to someone, the small people, than the big corporate America people. I just think that's just the just thing to do in regards to helping other folks out. Because I know if it was me and I had a farm and I was selling stuff on the side of the road to help support my family, I'd be very grateful for everyone that stopped by and bought some vegetables for myself. Never Look Back says, buy from farmers markets. Yes, and that's what that, for some reason that wouldn't come off my tongue, but thank you for that. Yeah, farmers markets. Let me see here. Stealth Mode says, I will try from the farmers market. Yes, sir. Thank you. I will try that. No problem, Stealth. Not a problem at all. That's what's fun about the live streams here when we're having these conversations is some of us either reading other people's comments or in general just sharing information as we sat here and talk, bouncing ideas from each other. It's just a fun learning experience. Even though it's more, we had some fun tonight with some of the the jokes per se that we discussed this evening. But we can see how those jokes or those sayings kind of really relate to us in life, and it's funny when you look at it that way, But just like reading some of the stuff that I see on chat. We can all learn from each other. I don't want ever any of you guys folks out there to be scared to throw an idea out there, because no idea is too extreme. And that's how I look at it, because your idea might be very helpful to someone else in chat. And that's why I always employ you guys to whatever video that I produce is, and it's beneficial to the channel. I'll be transparent. It is beneficial to the channel, but I love to see you guys when you guys leave a comment, but also you interact with other great community members. Like, let's say Yarn Prepper leaves a comment and then K Paul says, hey, Yarn, that's a great idea. And then Jan or, someone else, Jules comes by and says, I really like that idea as well. I'm going to try that, just to see all that interaction, because that builds community and builds the channel. So when people who are new to the channel and come and they come and see that, visit the great community and start looking through the comments, you're like, wow, this is a really nice place. This channel is safe for me to express some ideas that I may have about gardening or food preservation or canning or whatever it may be, because I want to share my ideas. This is the community to do that in. And everybody, 99.9% of the people that leave comments are friendly. I get a couple comments here and there, but it's a rarity now. It's a rarity that I get really a lot of negative stuff. Usually people that are correcting me on something I said wrong. Like, let's say I got corrected the other day. I think it was the, what was it? The EcoFlow Delta 2 Max weighs 50 pounds. And for some reason, I read it in kilograms and said 20 some pounds. And they're like, hey, you were wrong on that. And I said, you're absolutely right. And I'm glad you brought it to my attention, because I did make that mistake, but the video's out there now. But someone will come and read the comment that you left that said, I was wrong about the weight. I made a mistake. I spoke wrong, made that mistake. And now you helped correct it. So you have gave me some positive feedback, as well as other people that are going to come to the channel and say, oh, okay, Grey did say that he's right. It's actually 50 pounds and not 20 some pounds. Can you kind of get where I'm going with all this? How beneficial leaving comments is? And I know some of us are, we're busy, we're on our phone and stuff like that. We don't have time, but if you ever get a chance, come on back either to a live stream or to a video that you previously watched or something, and drop a comment or just interact with folks. I really love seeing that. And I hope that you guys enjoy that and learn from one another, because I'm here as the channel, but you guys make the channel. So it's not just my channel, it's your channel as well. So I hope you understand that. So I want you to be able to speak freely. Just be courteous to each other. That's all I ever ask, is just to be courteous. You know what I mean? We can all be polite. You know what I mean? We're all like-minded folks. So hopefully we can always, keep that in mind. All right. We're over an hour, folks. I'm sorry. I know I get down some of this just talking and talking and talking. And I forget that other people are starting their live streams. I've took enough time out of your guys' day or this evening. So thank you so much. Thank you to every single one of you amazing people out there that join me in this live stream. And if you want, drop down in the comments. You might be a prepper. If I'd like to read those. And I want to wish everybody a wonderful evening. God bless every single one of you amazing people out there. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to hang out with myself and the Grey community. Other than that, folks, this is Grey. And remember, you are not alone. And this is GreyMan, and I'm out. I see you guys in a rebound. God bless.